What's up with Mr. Criminal? Ladies and gentlemen, this video right here is about California rapper Mr. Criminal. I mean, they call this guy criminal guys and all this stuff. And I'm not trying to laugh to disrespect him, but I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of funny to say the least. This guy right here is, I would even say a rap legend in Chicano rap. But guys, sometimes you fall and you fall hard. Amen. And what happened with this guy is this guy had a podcast, and I asked Pocho about this one time. Like, does he think that him having a podcast was the beginning of his downfall on social media or these platforms? Because the way people look at him now is they don't respect the dude. Of course, many do, and he has fans. And I'm not trying to be biased here, but as far as the big podcasters and these pages, I mean, from Fool Community to Hater World and in between, y'all, there's not much respect, shown to this guy, and especially from the people in the comments. And of course, this is the internet, y'all. It gets brutal. People can be vicious on the internet. And from what I've seen from Mr. Criminal, this is my breakdown on the guy. He's a married man. He has a wife. He had an awesome channel. He still does. They claim that his numbers were fake. I don't know, to be honest, but that's not too far-fetched. But I seen the guy hit the scene, y'all, and I thought this dude was on the way up, and he was. He had the numbers, big channel, music channel. His podcast was popping. One of the first big ones. You're in the mix of the big ones, and his quality was superb. He had great lighting, the microphones, everything. I mean, the look. Like I said, I mean, look at my channel, baby. I put money into this, and I can see that his podcast. He put money into it. The dude got money, you could tell. But with the raza and certain channels and people and fans or whatever, they don't care about the money, right? I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Money only exposes what kind of person you really are, And I'll even say this: I know some miserable people that are poor, and some miserable people that are rich. Excuse me. But anyways, I digress. So my analysis of Mr. Criminal is that I saw him come up. I was watching his channel. He was doing it, but then he just had some kind of an attitude about himself, y'all. Like he was just Mr. Super Hard Cholo, from what everybody else says, and I really didn't think about it too much until in hindsight. I'm like, yeah, he was, he was Mr. Hard at all times, and I think it came back to bite him in the butt, because what ended up happening to him is paperwork ended up coming out, right? And some people say it's a statement. Some people say you ain't supposed to talk to the police when you live that life or portray that life. And the point is, podcasters were going after this dude after a while. I guess they didn't like him, and they didn't like the way he was maneuvering. He disappears for a couple of weeks, right? Come to find out, people are saying he bought views, this, that, and the third. People saying that they're going to expose him, and they know something about him. And I was hearing this throughout the whole time, and I said, something's up, right? When's the shoe going to drop, for lack of better words? And sure enough, he comes back to social media, and he claims that he's going to become somewhat of a man of God and a Christian or whatever. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm all for it, And this is one thing that I do differ from all the other podcasters, because they're like, man, God's not going to save him from being a snitch or whatever. But at the end of the day, all that matters is being a Christian and becoming one, no matter whatever it takes to get to the cross. It don't matter, y'all. Once you're on this side and you're a Christian, that's one thing, right? But then the streets and the people you left and the situation you left, that's another. And I'm going to be honest about that. So I commend him for, wanting to go a more godly route, but they ain't having it. His people actually looked down more on him and called him Pastor Silver Lake and Pastor Criminal guys and all these, derogatory names. And they ain't having it, because they're not Christians, right? Or they're not devout Christians, should I say? Because, a Christian is going to welcome a Christian regardless, right, of their background. As long as you ain't got no weirdo charges against children, in my opinion. If you're a Christian, let's roll. Let's rock and roll. Let's go preach. Amen. But the people he left, or that, genre of music that he left out from, they weren't having it. And they ain't having it. People kept calling him out. They keep calling him out. They made diss records about the guy. Come to find out, paperwork comes out on this guy, right? And of course, in California, like I said, paperwork is that's Mando. You gotta it's very important, paperwork over there. And I would say probably in every situation with the streets and prison, paperwork is very important as far as what kind of charges you have on your name. Again, I don't really care, because I have nothing to do with none of that stuff. I just know this is how they play ball. And I know that it does mean something when you're locked up or when you live a street life, right? Snitches get, the rest. That's how they are with this stuff. So paperwork comes out. Supposedly he made a statement. The rap song came out before, and people were saying that he was snitching, and the paperwork comes out. Official, I don't know, to be honest. It looks, anything could be photoshopped, but from what they're saying, I believe it probably does have some validity to it, that he did somehow make a statement to law enforcement in regards to someone catching a charge and whatnot, right? So the point is, can Mr. Criminal bounce back from this, right? This is the whole situation in a nutshell from what I've seen, and it looks pretty bad for the guy. Like I said, little to no respect from a lot of people. Again, the fans are one thing. These podcasters that are, creating videos, and there's certain narratives, floating around. It's pretty heavy on someone's reputation online, especially online. I've seen him on TikTok, doing videos, and they make fun about him doing that too. I think that's kind of funny, to be honest, being on TikTok, asking for likes and, money and tapping the screen. I ain't doing none of that stuff. I did that one time, did a battle with somebody, and it was a big old ripoff. My people put a couple hundred on me to win, and TikTok didn't even give me half the bag. Once I seen that, I said, hell no, I will never do a battle or none of that stuff ever again on TikTok because it's a scam, in my opinion. But Mr. Criminal, like a lot of other people, they're on TikTok doing all kinds of, videos and matches and all kinds of stuff, y'all. Anyways, like I said, so Mr. Criminal, he's back on YouTube. He brought his channel back. And again, like I said, he's trying to go a different route, but the paperwork comes out. So I don't know if he's going to be able to bounce back from this, ladies and gentlemen. This is my perspective on the situation with Mr. Criminal. It's looking pretty rough for the guy. And it sucks, right? Because I said it before. He don't really owe nobody an apology. He don't got to give nobody an explanation, especially if you're a boss, especially if you're racked up, especially if you got it like that, you ain't got to explain nothing to no one. But again, like I said, with the politics and the way certain people run certain situations and organizations, I mean, this dude, he got to speak up, in some way, because that's the place he came from. The streets are not going to like if you just turn to the Bible when you've been with that rah-rah. And it happened to me too. When I got born again, my best friend was choking me against the wall when I tried to bring the Bible to the party, right? Because I was trying to preach to my people, and my people weren't having it. My own best friend, and I love the guy still. He's still my partner, but drunk and under the influence, seeing your best friend turn his life around, some people don't like that. It's something to see someone change their life and to be genuinely happy for someone. Misery loves company, and a lot of people can't fathom, seeing the next man do better for themselves and their families. And even some people, when they try to change their lives, some people are so hateful that they're going to despise that, especially if that person starts, grabbing the Bible, because they're going to be saying what? I hear it all the time. Oh, you're judging me. Oh, you're a judger. Quit judging, whatever, right? So, like I said, Mr. Criminal has a huge mountain to climb. He has it's gonna be tough for the dude, and I somewhat feel bad for the guy because there he is, trying to give his fans his music and his content, and man, he just got hit with these allegations and this paperwork. Again, if he did snitch, if he was about that life, it's kind of shame on him. What this life entails, right? And someone snitching or doing whatever to get out of a sentence or whatever, that's a big no. Even me, I'm not a street guy at all. Snitching doesn't apply to me. I'll call the police if I want, right? I'll call the dog pound a day. There's 7 dogs running around my neighborhood. Shoot, I got chihuahuas and bulldogs, whatever. I can't let them get, hurt by these animals. I'll call the dog pound. Is that snitching? I don't care. I'll call the police too if I have to. I'm a law-abiding citizen, paying my taxes, and I will call the police if I want or have to. That don't mean I'll just run to the police. I mean, I can handle things on my own, but at the same time, as a business owner and a father, why would I put myself in danger, right? At the end of the day, I'm going to worry about my family and the well-being of myself in order to provide for my said family. Mr. Criminal trying to make a change for his life, and there he is, y'all, just getting drugged by a bunch of people because, that's just how it is. I'm not going to sit here and give a pass to him and say, this, that, and the third. I'm just going to be honest. This is what's happening to the guy. It looks pretty rough on him. And again, like I said, this dude had it made. Big old channel, lights, camera, action. Everything looked good and sounded good until the hood found out otherwise. So with that, let me know what you think in the comments, y'all. And this is just my quick, opinion on the matter of Mr. Criminal. Let's see what happens with the guy. Hopefully he bounces back and hopefully everything goes good. But that's nothing but, wishful thinking at this point. I'm out.